You might wonder how we transitioned from reading by the dim flicker of candlelight to holding the world's concentrated knowledge in a pocket-sized rectangle. For thousands of years, these three boundaries were absolute. When the sun set, work stopped. Your world ended a few miles from your front door, and information was trapped within the limits of biological memory. Modern life exists because obsessive dreamers systematically dismantled those natural laws through trial and error. This wasn't the work of committees and sleek office buildings. Most of it happened in the grit of dusty garages and makeshift laboratories. To understand our digital society, we have to trace the specific chain reaction that broke these barriers, starting with the end of darkness. By the late 1800s, innovators realized they no longer had to wait for the sun. They could manufacture their own power. Thomas Edison's real invention was the laboratory itself. He built a factory specifically designed to produce ideas, formalizing the system of research and development we use today. He tested thousands of different materials, bamboo, cardboard, even hair, searching for a filament that wouldn't burn out. The sheer volume of failure was the only way to find a consistent glow. Once he succeeded, the night was no longer a hard limit on human productivity. The factory floor and the home library could remain active 24 hours a day. With the night conquered, Henry Ford targeted distance. His moving assembly line lowered the cost of the car until it was a tool for the average worker rather than a toy for the wealthy. Concurrent to the rise of the car, two brothers in an Ohio bicycle shop achieved powered human flight, overcoming gravity after centuries of failed attempts by much better funded explorers. As electric grids spread and runways were paved, the barriers of night and distance began to dissolve. For the first time, a single person could inhabit an entire continent rather than just a village. The Second World War turned the planet into an industrial pressure cooker, forcing inventions that might have otherwise taken generations. Alan Turing designed the logical architecture for the modern computer with a singular, desperate goal: cracking enemy codes faster than a human ever could. This shows the scale of those early military machines. They were the size of entire rooms, containing miles of wiring and thousands of vacuum tubes that generated immense heat. During the Cold War, the challenge shifted from the battlefield to the vacuum of space. Reaching the moon in 1969 required complex calculations to launch and land the Apollo craft safely, math that was too fast for humans and too heavy for existing computers. Because weight is the enemy of spaceflight, engineers compressed the technology. They made computers microscopic, significantly faster, and more reliable than anything ever built for Earth. The mandate to leave the planet forced a physical miniaturization that would eventually allow computing power to leave the government vault and enter the home. After the moon landing, the technology existed, but it remained locked inside corporate headquarters and government high-security zones. In Northern California, a group of engineers and hobbyists began to reject this institutional control, believing that the power of the computer belonged to the individual. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates saw a future where every desk had its own terminal, shifting the ability to process data from the state to the citizen. Within a few decades, these machines became affordable household appliances, followed by cell phones that allowed people to transmit thoughts across the globe in seconds. This curve shows how quickly the timeline accelerated. We went from the first flicker of electric light to a globally connected society in just over a century. We are still writing the code for this civilization. If you want to keep exploring how our modern world was built, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Which of these inventions do you think had the biggest impact on your life? I'll see you in the next one.